Heading out of town on the start of stage 11 of the European Divide Bikepacking Trail. It's been an easy start. I've done about 25 kilometers maybe. First 23 of them were quite easy, mostly paved, pretty flat. And I've just hit the first proper off-road section, climbing over some hills on a proper off-road track. So a little bit of hiker bike here. But there probably won't be all that much of this stuff today. It's going to probably be a pretty easy and a pretty flat ride. I had a nice afternoon yesterday in town. Got some nice food, relaxed a little bit, had a walk around, had a look at the town. Interesting. I set off this morning reasonably early, but it's going to be a hot day today. It's going to be 30 degrees at least. And in the mountains in Spain, in the mornings have been reasonably cool, but here it's been warm right from the get-go, so I'm going to have to make sure to drink a lot of water today. But it's nice, different scenery from the mountains. Heading out of town, it's very much more urban, through a lot of industrial areas, a lot more traffic, a lot more people. So it'll be very interesting to see what the next couple of days will be like and how different they will be from the more mountainous stages in Spain. Well, I better get going if I'm going to do anything today before it gets way too hot.
I guess I should have known better than to expect the day to be easy. Just after I recorded that last section, the track got really rough. I was following basically a single track trail through some bushes, a bit of up and down, and then it followed a hiking trail, which in itself was quite good. The only problem was that my Komoot GPS had me going really cross country for a section where I really couldn't see any trail at all. I was hiking through bushes over sharp stones and more or less almost having to carry the bike. I'm going to have to check up the GPS route and see if there's something wrong with the route that I was going, or when I use Komoot, I actually change the direction from north to south to north, so I'm not sure if Komoot does any changes that sort of might affect that. But either way, it turned out to be a lot harder than I was expecting earlier in that day. I thought it was going to be quite flat and easy, but it turned out to be a little bit of hard work. But once I'd climbed up, there was a nice bit of riding, and I followed the road down to a lower elevation again, and started to cycle along some of the areas where they make salt, and then along the canal that runs through the area. And that was a nice bit of easy cycling, and I just managed to cycle along and basically just enjoy it and relax after the harder work earlier in the day. After cycling along the canal, I stopped for a really nice lunch and had a pizza in one of the towns. And after that, I was heading along, I actually ran into another bike packer. I met David going the other way, and he recognized me from the YouTube videos, and we stopped and we had a chat. It was really fun to talk to someone doing the same route, even if he was going the other way, and we were able to exchange some tips about what was coming up ahead. And he had been told by some bikepackers that he had met that the Spanish section was going to be easier than the French section. So he was looking forward to getting to it becoming easier, while I have always been under the impression that the Spanish section is harder than the French section, and I was looking forward to having a bit of an easier time on the French section. So it'll be very interesting to see which one of us gets the easier ride. I'll get back to you on that when I learn which section proves to be easier. After meeting David, I stopped for an ice cream near the beach, had a bit of a rest before heading on, and then finally set out to do the last kilometers into Glacier, which would make this a long day.
Leaving Glacier on the second day of stage 11. It's been a nice, easy 10-kilometer ride so far, traveling along an old railway line. Nice, flat and easy. It's a little bit cooler today. Yesterday was a long and hot day. I ended up doing about 114, 115 kilometers yesterday, and it was a hot day as well, so yeah, I drank a lot of water last night basically. It was actually the longest day so far on the trail. First time I've been over 100 kilometers on a day, and it was I was expecting to feel quite sore today, but I feel quite alright actually. I see what the weather is like. It's been a little bit of rain during the night, and there are some clouds in the sky, but hopefully it'll clear up. As the weather forecast for the coming week is for pretty nice weather. Not sure how far I'll go today. I just see what I feel like, how my body feels after yesterday's long day. I might, if everything goes really well and I feel good, I might finish section 11 today, but it's like 85 kilometers. I don't think I'll go that far today. I'll take it a little bit easy, make sure I have a long lunch somewhere and see what I feel like. All in all, so far France has been easier than Spain, but this is only the beginning, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Time for the first break of the day. About 30 kilometers done so far. Reasonably easy so far. There's a bit of climbing starting now. Been mainly easy gravel, mainly actually paved roads so far. So I'm just going to have a short rest here, possibly cool down a little bit, have a look down here at the river. Yeah, nice place. Have a short break, and then I'll continue on and see how much I'll get done today.
The continuation and the climbing naturally involved a little bit of hiker bike, but that was okay. Took it pretty easy, climbed up to the top, and after that I had a really nice downhill run. After a nice downhill run where I tried to get some lunch but didn't succeed because everything was closed, I ended up going the wrong way around the lake at the bottom of the descent. There was a road closure, and I normally don't worry about those on the bike. You can normally just sneak past the road closures. It's not too much of a problem. But Komoot showed what looked like a small bridge across the lake, just a few kilometers ahead. And rather than hassle with the road closure, I decided I'd just cross over the lake a little bit further ahead. And when I got there was no way to cross. So I suppose I should have just backtracked there and then and gone the proper way. But I ended up going on the south side of the lake. Not a major problem. It was a nice ride, and it was easy to find some nice tracks to go there. Did mean that I ended up spending the night slightly off trail. I found some accommodation in a bigger town slightly off trail, which was good, I suppose. And then the next morning I could rejoin the trail and do the last 15 kilometers, so into the last town. A nice easy ride with not much effort, just trundling along through vineyards, basically enjoying the scenery and stopping in some nice small French towns to buy orange juice and just enjoy the riding. All in all, it's been a really nice section. It's definitely been easier than a lot of the other sections. I've done my longest day, but there's been some hard parts as well, so I wouldn't say, I think I'm learning now, there's no way you can say anywhere on the European Divide Trail is going to be an easy section. Some of it's always going to be hard. But I'm looking forward to continuing in France and see what the rest of it's going to be like.